Welcome to Lesson 5, the last section of Module Number 1 of our first training program on introspective skills. Thank you for participating until now. In this section, we turn our attention to a powerful and widely used tool from the world of business strategy, known as the SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and Threats. Companies use it to understand their position in the market, but for us, it becomes a map for self-reflection. It helps us see our inner resources and limits, as well as the external factors shaping our lives. Instead of reacting on autopilot, it allows us to plan intentionally and become the architects of our own path. When applied to personal development, the SWOT framework helps us reflect on ourselves in a very structured way. The goal is to create alignment between your goals, your values, and the environment around you. When you do this, you're not just reacting to situations, you're making more intentional and informed decisions about your future. In this sense, a personal SWOT analysis is really a mindset for strategic self-leadership. It encourages you to pause and ask yourself some key questions. What makes me unique? Which patterns or habits might be holding me back? What opportunities could I explore that I haven't noticed yet? To make the most of this tool, it's important to distinguish between internal and external factors. Strengths and weaknesses represent our internal landscape. These are the skills, habits, and attitudes that live inside us. For example, being a strong communicator or persistent might be a strength. Struggling with procrastination or self-doubt might be a weakness. Opportunities and threats, on the other hand, come from the outside. They could be things like the job market, our community, cultural context, or relationships. A new training program could be an opportunity. A competitive work environment might be a threat. This distinction matters. Sometimes what feels like a weakness is actually the result of external pressures. Recognizing this helps us avoid misplaced self-blame and focus our energy where it can truly make a difference. Let's start by clarifying something important. A personal SWOT analysis is not about criticism or pointing out flaws. It's about growth with intention. This process is designed to empower you, to support your self-awareness and your self-compassion, and to guide you towards strategic action. When we look at strengths, the goal is to double down on what already works. Recognizing and owning your strengths allows you to step forward with confidence and authenticity. On the other hand, when we talk about weaknesses, we're not talking about shame. We're talking about insight. By bringing your weaknesses into awareness, you give yourself the chance to set realistic boundaries, ask for support when needed, and intentionally create new habits. Now, let's turn to opportunities and threats. Opportunities are your invitation to be curious and to explore. They remind you that growth isn't only about solving problems, it's also about expanding into what's possible. And threats? They're not here to make you fearful. They're here to help you prepare and build resilience. By anticipating challenges, you're less likely to be caught off guard. Instead, you move into them with clarity, with intention, and with a plan. So remember, the purpose of SWOT is not judgment. It's about seeing yourself clearly, embracing both your strengths and your areas for growth, and moving forward with strategy and confidence. Let's do a quick exercise together. On a piece of paper, draw a cross to create 4 quadrants labeled strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Then, fill your personal SWOT analysis by using the questions appearing on the slide as guidelines. As you write, encourage yourself to be honest, but without judgment. The goal here is clarity and understanding, not perfection or self-criticism. Once you've completed your SWOT, circle 1 strength and 1 opportunity that resonate most with you or feel most actionable this month. Then, write a small action plan answering this question: how can I use this strength to take advantage of this opportunity? This helps turn reflection into intentional movement. Remember, awareness is the first step toward agency. By becoming clear about where you stand and what resources you have, you equip yourself with the language and structure to move forward with purpose and confidence.